Welcome back to another edition of What's New on PeakD. And this time I'm even more later than usual because it was posted 10 days ago. But it is so important that I remembered, and we're doing it now. So here's the post. The main two biggest things are the introduction of curated content collections, which I'm extremely excited about. They have so much potential and they're so cool. I'm going to run through all the things that happened with an update of PeakD, but I kind of want to take a moment to show you real fast what I'm going to finish the video explaining, showing you how it's done, how I'm going to add some extra posts to this collection. Right now it has 55 posts. We're going to add a few more live with you. This one has 55 posts by 19 authors. I created it on the day the collection came out, which was 10 days ago. I updated it again the next day, but I've saved updating it a little bit, and we're going to do that live here with you. So I'll give you a little look-see. Here we are. Tons of awesome locations throughout the state of Utah and the United States. And the curator, which is me, has written a bit about each of these posts. So you can see how that's helpful. There's another one about the Hard Fork 25. And so a curator can maybe simplify, like introduce, this post is going to talk about this, and this is why this is going to be important. Now, a collection about like places in Utah, maybe a curator could say something of their own experience about that location. But it's, that sort of stuff. Let's go back because I want to run through some of the other features. There's so much more about collections. That's so cool. So watch till the end if you want to see more about that. The Hive Engine wallet improvements, another big, awesome feature, along with, let me get back to Hive Engine real fast because this one's easier to talk about. Hive backed dollars, as of like a month or so ago, have an APR of 3% at the moment. And there's talk about it going up. So every 30 days, you can kind of claim that as new HBD. But there has to be an action that happens. So we put a button here that will trigger that action. However, that button also says some information, like when you'll be able to claim it, because maybe you did it 11 days ago. So 30, you have to wait, a little bit longer. Also a little information impact because, people aren't used to getting APR, especially if they're not crypto users. All right, so back to Hive Engine stuff. I should go directly to it. How about we do that real fast? Because a lot of the other features that we did where we're supporting other random things, like Travel is a new product by Travel Feed. We're supporting Better, the Odyssey.com. And what's going on there between Odyssey and Libri? Is Libri sticking around? Maybe not, but Odyssey is. So we're just kind of keeping track of what's going on. Those are two video platforms. Travel Feed's got this new kind of blogging style that's more like Instagram Shorts. Or is that called YouTube Shorts? I don't even know. So Instagram/YouTube. Anyways, we're supporting that feature. Also, this is going to make a lot of people happy. When you write a draft for a new post, it saves it automatically every few seconds. But how about drafts or comments and replies? The second, I'm going to turn my phone off. All right. So when you write a comment or reply, we're now actually saving that in your browser. So that if something were to happen, you accidentally refresh, it's still there. You actually accidentally go to a different page, you come back, it's still there. So that should make a bunch of people happy. But on to the Hive Engine. Again, stick around for talk about collections and why that feature is so awesome and powerful. All right, I know everyone's like, why don't you claim this? They're bothered about that, so I'm going to do that real fast. So in the wallet, again, as a recap, we have some games, some other things. We have the Hive wallet, which is the main wallet. But then if people use Hive Engine, which is the name of a company, and they created a product called Hive Engine, and you can store tokens that are, they aren't, like a decentralized, a totally decentralized blockchain or anything. And, but it's a great feature. Obviously, I like it and I use it quite a bit. What we've done here is we've always had a spot value with tokens that come from other blockchains like Doge or LTC, but including tokens like Leo or alpha packs from Steam Monsters. We've always given a spot value. For the other blockchains, we give a spot value from CoinGecko because it relates to other exchanges with a lot of liquidity. But there are tokens like, for example, B, where you want to know how much it's actually worth. Okay, so I have 1947. The spot value from Hive Engine or Tribal Dex, which is what I use, says 839. But I'm going to take all of these and estimate it. And Diesel Pool says that I could actually get $810 out of it. And Hive Engine or Tribal Dex says I could actually get $681 out of it if I sold it all right now. So I'd get 35 cents per or 42 cents per. The spot value of 43 cents isn't realistic because there's not enough liquidity for it. But 42 cents, that ain't bad compared to 43. So you can see that in all sorts of different things. So if we look at Leo, which has good liquidity, we'll see all 1154 of mine is worth 657. Or on Hive Engine, they don't have a very good diesel pool, which is a liquidity pool like Uniswap or like PancakeSwap. The Hive Engine actually does pretty good. So $673. We don't have a comparison to their CoinGecko listing on this per se. So this actually, this doesn't come from CoinGecko. So because the number is exactly the same as Hive Engine. So something we could probably do. PAL tokens or DEC, for example, I have 14,000 in there. So we could estimate it, and it's very good liquidity. I could get $14.53. And now if you click on the eye, it's saying exactly how that's all working out. It's saying that 14,668 DEC would give me 24.923 swap.hive. Now, if we took the Hive price, that would mean $14.53. So there you go. That's how it's all working out. Now, you can change and estimate here. So the value of 1,000 DEC is 99 cents. Hive Engine is reporting it at 102, but that's with very little liquidity if it can't handle 1,000 DEC. All right, so that's the new features here. Oh, perhaps you want to see that we've done some other things. Tokens that allow, this one doesn't allow it, but PAL allows it. You can stake, unstake, and delegate. So there you go. And there's actually two different columns. I guess I missed showing what is probably the most exciting thing to most users, I suppose. You can see here that I have 900 staked and I have 30 in delegations. And this doesn't exist in some other places, but we show it. 30 of it is coming from PeakD, probably because I did the testing using PeakD. So there's 30 incoming and no outgoing. So I guess I could show another example. I don't think I have very many of it. SPT, let's see here. There is incoming and outgoing. Again, a bunch of tests, I suppose. Oh, yeah, so there we go. This is probably another test. So that's Hive Engine. Talked about that probably longer than I should have. Let's go to collections. So where do we where's the best place to get to collections? Well, I like going to the collection community. I have way too many collections or way too many communities here. But these are people that have created a collection. So now when you go here, you can create a post or you can create a collection. And these people decided to put the collection into this default community. Doesn't have to be here. You could put it onto your blog or you could put it into another community. This is a great example of someone that created a collection personally. There are two authors actually hiking in Red River Gorge. So I guess they found someone else that wrote a post about Red River Gorge. So Daltano is the collector and the author of 4 of those posts. So someone that is interested in the Red River Gorge, I think of most pages they could come to on the internet, this is now becoming one of the most valuable pages because he's got 4 different hikes and another post about nature photography that includes Red River Gorge. So created it 15 hours ago, updated 14 hours ago, 5 posts in it, and there's a bunch of topics that relate to it. You can also view this as a post. So another view style here, and you can go back to collection. So at the bottom of this, you could give it a vote and say, this is an awesome collection. Peak D gave it a vote. Peak D gave it a tip. And let's go back to collection. You give it a tip, will always be there. You also have all 3 of the normal view styles for the collection. So here's a cool view style. So he did not write, it's a new product, so he didn't write like a commentary about each one of these yet. But there are some people that do it. We're going to go back to some of the other collections. So this is a guy that's been doing a collection on a more regular basis. Let's actually try to find, there's another way to find collections. Every collection has this tag. I actually really appreciate this view. So we're going to go back to here. So yeah, here we go. So he has written a bit more. There is a limit, so maybe he shouldn't write quite that long. So he's giving you what you're going to expect in this post. This is a very, very interesting post talking about nature beauty. The most interesting thing about the article is how she shows how nature is tied to everything. So now you're going to look at that because he's giving you a little bit of introduction. So you want to find a good happy medium, not too long, maybe not too short. But as a curator, you can give people coming to your collection a little bit of why you want to go see this post. So that's another interesting example. Super cool science stuff here. So someone that has collected 26 posts about science. So this is the awesome ability of curating. And he can order these. He has ordered them. He is the only author. So he's taken all of his posts about science. He has ordered them. He's put them in the order of the original posts back from 2017. So you get to decide the order as well. So awesome stuff. I am going to go through how to do these, but I just want to give you an example of everything that is, not everything, but awesome things that are possible. So a collection in Spanish, this one is amazing. 11 posts. This says tutorials and information that are of use. Tutorials and useful information. Oh, it said that right there. So this is an awesome, if you have a Spanish-speaking friend, send them to this collection and they will have 11 posts that talk about Hive and sometimes Peak D and other things. Now, the curator could go and give that friend that you're sending them to a little bit of snippet as to why they would want to read this collection. So this is something I can go to the post and say, hey, You should add in some commentary here for the users. I don't know. Awesome stuff here. I'm going to show you how to add a post to a collection. So you remember I have that Utah collection. Now here's a post about Utah. I'm not exactly sure where I left off on adding into the collection, but Bryce, let's add this to it. So we go here, we're going to add to a curated collection. So I have 3 different collections about NFTs, about Hard Fork 25, and about the amazing locations of Utah. So I'm going to click that, and I can either put it at the last as the last post or before the placeholder. I'm going to put it before the placeholder because this is a great one, and then I can write my curator commentary. Amazing to see Bryce Canyon National Park with snow. That's all I really have to add. It's a very simple concept of collection to do the Utah. So what this is doing behind the scenes is it's editing the post and republishing it. And that's done for you. So I can go to my all posts because I'm not putting all of my posts on my blog. I put them into communities most of the time. And then sometimes, like this one, I really think that actually I want this one on my blog. So it's now on my blog. Boom, easy as that. But I also want to put it into the collection. So like Zebra Slot Canyon in Escalante area. And I'll show you that I could put this as the last post. And now it's added. So every once in a while, I'll go through and find some new good Utah ones, or if it comes across my feed, I can just automatically add those. Any others that I want? Red Rock was not in my collection. State Park near Bryce Canyon National Park. So we're going to put this at the end as well. You see how it works? I think you do. I've done it 3 times, so pretty straightforward. All right, so that's adding to a collection. Now let's create a collection, shall we? I may want to pause this video. Well, what are we going to collect? Let's see. Well, let's do this collection. Sorry, I'm going to pause. All right, I'm back after having added in quite a bit. What I did was, you see here, I've added in links to all of the posts that I have written about my trip to all 5 national parks in Utah. So what I did is I added a title, 1 week road trip to all 5 national parks. Then I added a description about the post. Then I added in all the links. So here's a link, here's a link. So there's a bunch of links. And in between each link, I could do this to make it easier. It doesn't really matter how it's formatted, but you'll be able to see things a little bit better this way. So I put a link and then I wrote in something for each of these, okay? And it goes underneath the link. So everything between one link and the next is a description about the previous one, okay? So the first stop of the thing, the second day of the trip, you can see it over here as well. So I am not quite done with making these posts, but I'm already going to do the collection because there's already a significant amount to add to the collection. So every time I create one of these posts, I'll add it to this collection, and maybe some of them I'll add to the Utah collection. Now, where I'm going to put the placeholder, it doesn't really matter because I'm going to put all of the future ones at the end. So I'll put also the placeholder at the end, and I can write a description. You know what? This is actually a really good description. So I'm going to post it right there. I'm going to add some things here. Utah, do not remove the CCC. That's how we know it's a curated content collection. This is a road trip. So if anyone comes in, I want to see some road trips. I want to see posts about Utah. I want to see hikes, Utah National Dash Parks. I don't know if people are using dashes or not. And travel and photography. There we go. So, and then I can hit publish, and there we go. But I'm actually going to save it as a draft for a moment. Did I explain everything that people want to know about the road trips? Here, I'll show you one more here. I've got another post that I've got linked here, well, that I need to grab real fast. One more to add to it. Copy. So I'm going to paste it in here, and you'll see it live come in. Boom. And then another line, and I say, the fifth day we started with a trip into Capitol Reef National Park. Did a popular hike. Writing someone right isn't the best content, but there you go. And then, you know what? I'm actually going to add this. I don't see any reason not to publish this. And there is a new collection. You can also add in a picture, and then it will become a thumbnail for that collection. But I didn't add any pictures. I just added links. So you see how some people have a thumbnail. That's because they put in a picture, a JPEG, and that JPEG become the thumbnail. We give a default one if people don't have it. So there we go. I hope that I covered everything that you would like to know. I could add this collection to my blog, which is actually something I'd love to do. I do want to change the thumbnail before I add it to my blog. Let's go take a look at it real fast live, because you saw me create it. So this is in list view, and you see all of my commentary and all the different posts here, and it is in order. I've decided to keep it in chronological order. I may reverse the chronological order. That'd actually be kind of cool. You could view it as a post. And you could view it, obviously, in this mode as well, which is pretty cool, right? In any case, I hope you enjoyed the recap of what's new on Peak D, with a heavy focus on content collection and Hive Engine wallet changes. If there's any other questions, let me know. I didn't go over these, but tons of people reported, not tons of people, there were a few people that reported some things that they'd like to see fixed. They're usually smaller. We did them. They're listed here. You could always see the actual change log for all the things that we do, which is quite a bit. And in the past 10 days, we've been working on some much bigger things that have taken a little bit longer time, but we've got some cool things coming up. I'll let the cat out of the bag that we are doing some changes to our search interface. So look forward to that, and have a